morning, everybody. It is Thursday, October the 17th. Well, retail sales was a beat. I can't believe it myself, but whatever they tell me, they tell me. In the meantime, interest rates keep going higher. So the Fed cut was no bargain. Markets have been kind of quiet. There was some action earlier. There's actually a potential trade right now here in the euro currency. Not good enough for me to want to get involved. We might get something coming here in crude. In fact, I would bet on it that there'll be a trade in crude coming here in the next couple of minutes. But at the end of the day, just real quickly, you take a look at the bonds, which is the inverse of interest rates. And this is the Fed rate hike cut right here. Bonds have gone down every day, which means interest rates have gone up almost every day. Again, we can make up all the stories and excuses we want. Interest rates are going higher, inflation is going higher, and yet the markets are still higher. I would say one thing to you though, and again, I don't make predictions, but if we close lower today, which I think is a possibility, I think the top is it. But that's just a little thought here. In the meantime, we do have a potential trade coming in crude oil, so we're going to start to look at it right now. Right now, our stop would be 70.59. Excuse me. Apologize. 71.59. Excuse me. 71.59 would be our stop. Okay. And we'll see if we get a trade here. Again, 71.59 is the stop. We'd sell probably about 93 or below. But we have to wait. We have to wait it out and wait for the time and wait for the bar to close. So we got 30 seconds. In the meantime, again, we just have to be patient. Okay, and we're going to get a trade here, it looks like, but we're not ready to pull the trigger yet. 71.59 is your stop. And you can not yet. Hold on, sorry, I jumped the gun a minute. All right, you can trade if you want. That's if you take these trades. It's not if you don't, that's okay too. Okay, remember if you took the trade, okay, put to buy one. I sold mine at 70.89. Put one to buy at 70.79. One to buy at 70.69. And then if you have more, I have 5 total. So I will work the other 3. All right. So I'm out of one at a profit. Okay. And now the question is, and I think the prudent thing to do is to go ahead and place your stop now back at break even. Okay. And take out the risk of the trade. It looks like it's going to be a quick trade because it looks like we're going to get banged out right away. No, not quite. Yep, there we are. We're out with, depending on the size you're trading, between $10 and $100. It depends on what size you're trading. All right, let's go back to the board and see if there's anything worthwhile. These are so thin that it's really not worth trading. But we could use another little pop. Got a bad break on the stop by being a little bit too aggressive on the stop. Oh, well. Again, I don't worry about that. I worry about having action and activity in the markets, and the trades we put on Tuesday are all working. So that's, again, we're just strictly looking and trying to play a probability model. We did look, as we look at Apple all the time, and we did look at Apple to sell, and you can see that it's working perfectly. You can probably cash it in right now if you want for a couple of pennies, take the profit and run away. Amazon. We had no trade, not much going on. As we said, you can see we're still just hovering around Nowheresville. Coin, okay, that did get against you. Now it is coming back. So we'll see. It's not a winner yet. We can't even cash it yet. But certainly you would expect a little bit of a pullback here still. Crowd, as we said, coming right back beautifully, working in our direction. Meta, we never got an opportunity. We were looking for 600. We didn't get it. Google, Okay, we got an opportunity. Again, we didn't take the Google trade, or you might have taken it. Again, if you did, it's working. If you didn't, you should never be upset that you didn't take a trade. Okay, there's a thing with people who trade. Okay, when the markets go down and they're short, they're never short enough. When the markets go up and they're long, they're never long enough. In the meantime, you just keep playing the probabilities, and you'll be a lot happier over time. IWM, which we did sell and it did work, although it did pop. But again, we were trading it for the day only, and it did come back on that day. You remember, that's what we played for. And again, I would look to sell it again today, for today. Moderna continues to be a thorn. But as I said on Tuesday, I wouldn't necessarily trade it. I said, I'm getting frustrated that it keeps going down, although the trades have kind of worked. It's still rather annoying to look at them. Let's see what's going on in crude here, because it looks like we're getting another little bounce, and we might get another little shot at it. So I guess the stop wasn't so bad, right? Again, it's always easy to go back and say, I should have, okay, or could have, but that's not what we do, okay? We take the money when we can get it. We take the trades when we can get it, and that's all we do. And it's not going to get there, I don't think so. Go back here. We can always look later. Microsoft still in the middle of nowhere. MSTR, there you go. Now, we didn't get a chance on Tuesday. I had talked about that I had made this trade on Monday. Okay. Again, there's nothing really to do here, but it is one we will be watching. A Nugget. Okay. We didn't have anything to do. NVIDIA. We talked about potentially selling it. And again, this would have been tricky. If you sold it, you're in good shape. If you didn't sell it, okay, then you're not in. It doesn't matter. The Qs, same story. Got up. It was an opportunity. Still working in your favor. SMCI, again, as I said, I didn't want to do anything here because it looked like it might be trying to break out. Again, it wouldn't have mattered if you did or you didn't. It might have made a little bit of money. Again, if I don't make the trades, I don't talk about them as far as what the result was. Square continues to go against us. That is would be one of our losers. Of course, it's not a final score yet. Now, in Square, if this turns out to be a loser, okay, I will resell it again for next week. Okay, the conditions are exactly the same. Nothing has changed. So if I don't survive this week and I take a loss, which is very possible, then I will just resell it again for next week. That is one thing, because again, the conditions of the market have not changed as to what I'm going to do. Okay, it is still extremely overbought. The SPY is still very much overbought, and I would certainly as I told you, I made a trade on that, and it was a little close, a little hairy, but it worked out just fine. But again, I would look to sell it again. We are still overbought, and that is something that you want to remember. The probability side, the Tesla trade worked perfectly. Now again, it's not over yet unless you cash it. Okay, you can cash it for a profit now if you want. I'm going to hold personally and see. Win continues to come down. We had no trade. We were up, in the area that it was already done what it was supposed to. XBI right now is getting close, but the range is so narrow, we'll just pass and zoom. Okay, we had no chance. So there was nothing to do. So overall, it's pretty quiet. There's not a lot going on. Again, here we are. We're looking at the active screen, which is not very active. Again, I have to always warn you to be careful. There is no reason to be overly excited or trying to force too many trades. The markets have been relatively whippy, but we are well off our highs. And again, where do we go from here? I think today's close will give us a lot of idea as to where we are going to go from here. I think that is something that we'll look at and be prepared for. So again, when we look and when we see, again, we have to be patient enough to wait. And this is why I always say to you, sometimes it's better to walk away. Sometimes it's better not to trade. when there is such a lack of activity. Trying to overshoot this market or overthink it is wrong. I think when you just wait for the opportunities, that's, I think, your best bet. Look for high probability. And if there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't see anything going on. I can only see trouble. Maybe I don't want to trade today. Okay. And again, it doesn't matter. There's not enough action to worry about right now. This is an unusually slow period. And if we do get busy, it should get busy for an extended period of time. Again, if it's only one day, it doesn't matter. Okay. Again, you're not going to make a living on one day. So what we have to do is we have to sit and wait for better activity in the overall market. I think certainly if you look at some of the futures, if you do trade those, I would think that the euro currency is a little bit oversold. I would look to be a potential buyer. Okay. Gold is overbought. I would look to be a seller. Okay. Again, these are just little things you can look at as you're playing. Okay. Again, the same probabilities play in both markets. Again, the chart, if you remember this, all charts are the same. All patterns repeat themselves. It doesn't matter what chart I'm looking at. I don't really care. Okay. This chart tells me it should be sold. Okay. This chart tells me I got nothing to do. This chart tells me not yet. This chart tells me I should be getting ready to buy. Okay. This chart tells me I got nothing to do. And again, it doesn't matter what they are. This tells me I should look to be a potential buyer. This chart tells me I should look to be a potential buyer. And that's what you're looking at. Okay. Again, you're playing probability. It doesn't matter the product. You don't have to worry about what it is. As long as there's enough liquidity in what you're trading, that's what happens. Hold on 1 second, please. 1 second for me to take care of this. Okay. So again, at the end of the day, it's all about the action, chart action. Okay. And what should you be doing? Okay. This market, there's nothing to do. This market, there's nothing to do. This market should be looking to be a seller potentially. This market looking to be a potential buyer. Now, again, they're not there yet. This market, nothing to do. So again, we look at market after market. You can see that the pattern clearly identifies itself, okay, as to what you should be potentially doing. And that's, again, what our focus always is what is the right trade at the right time. And certainly right now in the current conditions of these markets, conservative trading is by far the best, which means that high probability setups using options to trade to sell credit, which means you have limited profit, limited risk. Okay. But again, those are the things that make it the best for you. And remember, you keep building little bits of profit that turns into a lot of profit. Okay. And I think that, again, if you can get that going in your mind, you'll be a much happier, much more successful trader overall. But as I don't see a lot going on here, I don't think that we're going to be able to, finish the day off, but we'll watch for a couple of more minutes. But I think that this is going to be a short day because there's nothing to do. Okay. And for me to wander on and drool on about nothing is, again, no, it's a waste of your time and mine as we have not much happening. And again, I think the one thing to remember, very, very important, if we close lower today, you could maybe suspect a top of the market is. And if that is the case, then by Tuesday, we might have some longer term trades that we'll be looking at. But right now you can see the lack of overall activity in the market as the Bollinger Band shrink in, which means that the movement is lighter. We've got the VIX, which is falling, which, a rising market falling VIX is correct. We'll see how it trades out. But I think for today, I don't think there's going to be anything for us. We made a little bit of money. We'll take the profit. We'll run away, and I'll see you back here on Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you later.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.